So, when I think of a bunch of fans of Neptus meeting for a political event instead of people going to the protest, oh, you don't want me to go there with you. When I think of, the lack of airtime, the lack of time for me to really do what I got to do and organize the protests, and how they sent people to infiltrate, and how they got people watching me, how they're doing all their dirty little tricks, and they're trying to do it subtly, but there's no way to do it really, because I'm suspicious of everybody, everything, and there's no way to predict what I'm gonna do, and try to hope that my woofing and my talking shit is gonna reveal my plan, and that's not gonna work either. All the psychologists analyze me, and shrinks that have misdiagnosed me in the past. This is what we believe it to be. They're gonna lead you astray into false conclusions, while the real ending is gonna be waiting, and it's gonna be one terrible one with no with no excuse for the government. Why you start persecuting the spiritual leader instead of going after the drug dealers in government who are bringing the drugs in. You're going after the only voice of reason in the group. Everyone's wondering that already. Why you're going after the protester, the spiritual leader and the protesters, instead of going after the drug dealers and the criminals. Why do you select people in the gang, practice selective law enforcement like you give selective licenses? You're one selective motherfucking group. And when it ends, everyone's gonna know how it was and how it could have been, and how you're a bunch of traitors, and how I'm gonna ride, what I'm saying, with for what it is. For what I see is that I've been too nice to these motherfuckers. There's many ways we can play this on Tuesday, and all of them involve the police surveilling me on some level. All of them involve the game of chess, all of them. And it also involves a form of monopoly as well, you could say, because you're putting all your pieces and all your houses and all your fortified surveillance units in certain places, hoping that that's where it's going to be. Your guess, check, and revise technique isn't going to work with me. Your analyze with a bunch of out-of-touch shrinks is not going to work with me. Your behavioral analysis unit is not going to work, and you're not going to be able to analyze me. And what you chop up to my actions, you're not going to be able to read the symptoms. Just like schizophrenia, the person's in their own world. When the person's high on drugs, they're in their world. Depression, when a person's coming down from drugs, they're depressed. All of your diagnoses are symptoms of something else, a much bigger problem, a drug problem, and the root of the drug problem is prescription drugs, but you want to address it. Just like you want to address the real criminals, instead you're going to address me, forcing me to have my contingency plan, because I know that when I'm dealing with scum who infiltrate groups as the way they do things, that I have to have countermeasures that consider all their tactics appropriately. So for you scum to think that you are going to win is insulting. It bewilders even the most complex of minds. You have an uncanny ability to bullshit. You exemplify all the characteristics and traits of fools, of overconfident, pompous idiots, sitting there like, oh, I know what it's going to do. Sitting there like you're Sherlock fucking Holmes. And you, sitting there like you're fucking Madame Vlasky, and you're some fucking kind of mind-reading fucking Miss Cleo at the same time. Like you understand what I'm alluding to, and the context of really my fucking video series. You think you understand where I'm going with it. And why, he's misusing this word. Like when I use deference, he didn't understand what I was getting at. All of you were sitting there like, he misused that word. But you didn't see the nuances in what I was trying to say. You don't understand what I say. You don't understand my mannerisms. You don't understand my behavior. You don't understand my gestures. You don't understand the way I interact with people, and the way I interact with myself and my consci and my psyche. You don't understand my level of consciousness. You don't understand my problems. Those many problems that I had, I didn't tell you I have. Many problems I don't have, than I might have thought I had at the moment. So you don't understand what's going on in my mind, much less the mental process. And you're on a fishing expedition, and you expect me to die while you're still guessing. You're on a fucking hunt for Negroes to eliminate, to make room for your scumbag descendants. All your tactics are pathetic, they're unworthy, and they will fail you. I will rout your every pathetic technique. I will have countermeasures and contingency plans in place. Even when I was sitting there at the hospital, wondering why the fuck you would be so stupid to wake a sleeping giant, sitting there like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? Don't you realize 10 years ago I could have killed you all? 15 years ago I could have killed you all? Imagine what the fuck I can do now. What is wrong with you people? You're not on my level. I had better logic in place when I was in kindergarten doing Algebra 2. You're not on my level. There is no one you can hire as a consultant that would even come close to my level. You're a bunch of pathetic fools, judging a genius who is beyond your understanding, beyond your comprehension, and beyond your ability to predict the upcoming events. And it is your egotistical nature and your lack of perception that is going to cause so much harm when you could have just admitted I was right. Let the facts speak for themselves. Let your action and the reactions speak for themselves. Your laws of physics do not apply to the bound and the bound and the boundless. Measures of God and the people who are bound to them. The bond between Heru and Osiris and the strength of the action coming from me and God, there will be no reaction. There will be the effect. There will be a reign of suffering. You accuse me of being this and that. But God is the one true terrorist. God is the one being we all fear. Even the atheist who does not believe fears deep down the consequences of being wrong.